set up Shady. Bump it on through. Down we go. Express. Stays back. Element pulls back to their competition. A little bit. Whoa! That was insane! Last season, both of them had experience on the international stage. And there it is. Showcasing from Corsos. We might have a series. You see me. I can do with CJF and taking it. Oh my god! What? Live at Showdown Studios, this is the Rocket League OCE Championship, proudly supported by Macca's, where the Monopoly game at Macca's is back. 1 in 5 instantly win. And guess what? We have a very special guest for you here today. We have Alex Wolfie Foldy, also known as that guy from Smash Mouth, an all-star in his own right, I tell you what. And we've got Career Lord backing him up in case he wants to be an all-star as well.
I'm a believer.
That's the main thing. And when you see Wolfie's face, you will be excited for this week. Week number 4, we've had some upsets last week, and we're working into this week with all gungs ho. Career, I tell you what, let's recap a little bit, because last week just blew my socks off.
Yeah, it's so close. That was something I was not expecting going into this. I thought it would be, okay, week 4 coming up. We should have some separation by now. We'll know the top 4 teams. It's just about seeding. And now it's still pretty much anyone's game.
Look, it's all actually a lot closer than I thought it would be at this point in time.
Yep.
We have 2 teams sitting very, very close to that first position, really, really tight. The only difference is the games, and it's 1 game between both Jam and Chiefs. And then there are 3 closely behind them in second, and then everyone else is just on the cusp of breaking in.
I think the biggest thing last week was that Conspiracy actually taking down Legacy meant that League Play's blown wide open again. It's been a couple of weeks where we've said, this is blown League Play open, This is blown League Play wide open. And coming through in this week, let's have a look at those standings, because this is the main event. Jam and Chiefs will be sitting top. Scylla closely behind. But I'm looking at Conspiracy right now, because they have the potential for upset.
They do. Look, Conspiracy, they came out last week, and look, they beat Legacy. Like, that's insane. We never would have thought this. I never thought this. I thought the Conspiracy would honestly be sitting at around maybe 7th or so, but they've far surpassed my expectations.
Yeah, now it's a big question of have they got into the Power 6, not just if they're sitting there on the cusp, it's how far can they push into it and knock the other guys down.
Yeah, Conspiracy sitting at 2-2, and Pale Horse sitting at 2-2 as well. That's a concern that we need to raise up, but our first 2 series will involve Conspiracy Esports, so we'll be looking at them very, very closely, fighting for an all-new prize pool of $25,000 and that top prize is not out of their reach. Imagine Conspiracy Esports, a new organization, getting that first prize in their first RLCS season.
Yeah, you couldn't say they're the bubble team rookies anymore. Coming in, if they get that first place, and they definitely can with that 2-2 spot they're currently sitting in, they would be the new pros going internationally.
Absolutely. The fact that they changed from sitting at around 10th or 11th on the power rankings to now sitting at 6th in league play for RLCS, and for a chance at one of those top 2 spots, heading overseas, becoming professional gamers, and changing the way that OCE is changing.
Let's go past professional gamers, Wolfie. I mean, that is a cliche. That's bull. We're not on professional gamers anymore. These guys are professional gamers. They're in league play.
They're getting paid.
It's a cliche. It's overused. Let's go with they want to be international superstars. That's what this is going to mean.
All-stars even.
International all-stars. Somebody once told me that the world was going to roll because I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, Wolfie.
That's fair.
I need to tell you something. No, in all seriousness. Top 2 go to RLCS, right? And the fact is, we are focusing on Conspiracy quite a lot today. Like I said, they're the first 2 games, but I think it's also important to note that Conspiracy Esports can actually make that top 4. And with that, the top 2 becomes open to them, because we've seen some weaknesses with teams like potentially Jam and Chiefs. Scylla Esports have shown some weaknesses throughout the series despite being 3-1. As we look at today's games, I think we need to highlight Conspiracy matches to start things off. They will be taking on Chiefs to start us off in the day. Avant Gaming following suit as well, and I think those are 2 of our highlight games to look at.
I definitely think Avant vs Conspiracy is going to be one of the pivotal turning points
one of the closer ones,
in League Play. There are definitely a couple of close matches as well. You know, Pale Horse and Legacy, very, very tight in my opinion. And also Noisy having a chance to, you know, break their 0-win kind of loss.
Stop laughing, Wolfie.
Okay, but
Stop being toxic.
I can't. It's hard. But they have a chance at breaking through the bubble of that kind of 7th and 8th spot and breaking into the Power 6.
Yep.
Yeah, following in Conspiracy's footsteps. And I think we can't stress as well that while the first 2 games dictate where Conspiracy and the middle of the top 4 are going to be, the end games are worth staying for as well, because we do have those international teams fighting out for those top seeds as well.
Exactly right. Chiefs and Jam Gaming have already gone international. They want to go back. There's no point in them holding back and giving it to another team. So in our first series of the day, Chiefs taking on Conspiracy Esports. Chiefs have been looking dominant once again, and I came back with some questions in the start of league play when they went down to Scylla, but I think they've reminisced and they've kind of brought it back.
They have, and it's pretty crazy because it's one of those weird love triangles at the moment, right? Because Conspiracy beat Legacy. Legacy beat Chiefs. Does this mean that Conspiracy are therefore going to beat Chiefs just because of...
I think it's... No, hang on. Wolf, I don't think that's how triangles work. So I think Chiefs, right? They were beaten by Scylla, right?
Yep.
Correct?
Legacy?
Or Legacy. That's the one. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Legacy beat Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Conspiracy beat Legacy. That means Chiefs have to beat Conspiracy. Right?
If that's going to go in the generic
it's a Bermuda triangle.
Yeah, I mean, it's up in the air at the moment, though, because a lot of what is a bit frustrating at the moment is the inconsistency within OCE. I don't really like to bring it up, but I just have to point it out.
Even if it is yummy, and I'm not allowed to do it, but I'm glad. Welcome to the desk.
Well, I just want to say it because it is one of the things that obviously defines whether a team will win or lose on the day that they play.
Yep.
And this happened to, Scylla in the last OCE Championship. Everyone was like, oh, Scylla will make it, no problem, it'll be fine. Jam came out, 7 games, beat them, and went over to RLCS.
See, I think it's less of a matter of the teams being inconsistent, but more that the teams are so tightly packed that there's no teams that can really pull out as a front runner going ahead. So they have inconsistent results, and that's mainly because the teams are so tight. Like, it is anyone's game because it's so close.
I think potentially, yeah. I think the inconsistency is a good point to bring up because although, you don't want to be critical about your own region, I think it needs to be said, and we need to focus on how to get OCE better. That's the top priority right here. They go internationally, they're representing our region. Not only that, they're representing their team, their organization. When they go overseas, they will be facing teams from NA, from EU. 100% win rate from NA can't stop, right? And
Easy.
It won't. Definitely won't. We'll go up against Cloud9 and we'll just smash it.
Oh, NRG, then Cloud9. You have to do it in order.
Okay, no. Yeah, but then Cloud9, right? That's fine.
Just skip the second and third, go all the way.
No, it's keeping that 100% win rate, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's our chance to represent, and I think looking at the biggest issue for OCE is a great way to start off. So looking at that, I want to look at Conspiracy in depth about consistency here because in the past, I think they've shown it. I think they've shown great defensive macro there, and I will use that word very confidently.
Okay.
Look, a lot of teamwork. They've shown so much teamwork in their defensive styles, and their rotations have been quite slick.
Yep.
And it's about putting on that aggression, but then we saw that against Legacy. We saw that adaptation in the middle of the series, and now I'm actually questioning where I sit in this series. Even though it's the Chiefs, I think Conspiracy definitely have what it takes.
I mean, look, they do have all the fundamentals. All the fundamentals are there.
That's
the
amazing.
Mechanical skill, the passing play, as well as the teamwork. But what changes when they face better teams is that they play a lot slower. They don't want to, but it just is their play style. They play a bit slower, and it means that other teams who can take advantage of them playing slower can easily outpace them.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's generally the rule for Chiefs, which is who they're going up against. If you play slow against Chiefs, they're surgeons that just take you apart slowly at their own time.
I was just thinking, I was like, that's not good then, is it?
No.
If Conspiracy are going to slow down, but that adaptation against Legacy, Legacy, often, these big passing plays, I see Legacy play fast and quite erratic, but Conspiracy adapted in that series, which is why I think Conspiracy can adapt in this series as well. Wolfie, are you going to flip-flop on my boys Conspiracy? Or, you like the Chiefs. In the past, you've been quite close to them.
Look, yeah, I've known them in person, and I've also known them even before they were known as Chiefs, or even before that they were known as Alpha Sydney. I think that they will take this series today. I think Chiefs are going to win it, probably at around a 3-1 mark, just because the first game is always that to bring up, we'll get used to their play style, get comfortable.
That was horrible, Wolfie. Tell me why. Don't just tell me because you're biased towards the Chiefs.
Okay. You want to know why? You want to know specifically why?
That's what your position is.
Okay, Drip A himself, fantastic striker. Torsos as well,
Nice.
beautiful midfield player. Jake, really good on the defense. They play that generic playstyle where they still go through the fresh rotations, but because of that, Jake is sitting at the back and he just plays really passive, waits for them to make a dumb mistake or a dumb pass to him, and pushes it out, and then keeps it in the offensive half.
Capitalization, Korea. Do you believe in Jake's capitalizing on dumb mistakes?
No, I think Chiefs are going to take this game. And the reason for me is that Conspiracy have been, for the most part, been playing relatively safer than any other team in our region. And they normally rely on Walcott to come forward or another player to do a solo play or a small pass play to get those goals. And when you're sending so few members forward into your opponent's side of the pitch, going against Chiefs, so each one of them is mechanically a freak. Like, they're all 1v1 gods in their time. You don't beat those guys convincingly in 2v2s or 2v1s, where there's two Chiefs players going against like Walcott. I'm not putting my money on Walcott winning that time and time again.
I am, though. That's the thing. Screw that. I'm putting money on Walcott. After last week, winning the Legacy game, single-handedly getting that halfway mark dribble, and outplaying the crap out of Legacy, I might add.
Okay.
I'm going to put it on Conspiracy. They have impressed me. They're the front runners now. I'm not even going to call them rookies of the season. I think I'm going past that point. I think these guys are the pale horse of the off-season, right? These guys are... when Pale Horse came in Season 3, right? I know I'd seen Kami. I know I'd seen some of the players, but as we do jump into our first series, I saw Conspiracy. I saw a shining light, and I got hella excited.
Yeah? Well, I think, I'll give it to you this, Jake. If they can win this one, I will expand the Power 6 to the Power 7.
But they're not in the 7. I mean, if Conspiracy... Okay, Conspiracy versing Chiefs and then Avant. Conspiracy may or may not beat Chiefs, but then if they take down Avant are out of the Power 6. That could be it.
No, I reckon that's a fair statement. Is definitely we'll be seeing a new time in OCE where Conspiracy is considered deservedly one of the top teams.
Yeah, well, we're into our first series of the day here at OCE Championship, the road to RLCS. We're into week 4 here, and we've got 1 week remaining before we go to those PAX finals. Right now, every team needs a series win, and every game matters here. If we do get down to tiebreakers, it will be something they regret. Conspiracy Esports versus one of the better team in Chiefs, and also starts it off strong. Looks like the ball's got a bit of a jitterbug here today, Kuria.
Yeah, it's an early morning start for these boys, so it's good to see the ball is also going in tow. For those at home that have been watching OCE from the NA side last season, Chiefs were Alpha Sydney, so if you know the guys, give them a cheer, or if you want to see their downfall brought, go Conspiracy.
Well, right now, Conspiracy, big hit from Slurpee. That'll be the first goal against the Chiefs.
Yeah, a little bit of an overextension there from Chiefs, allowing that shot from right up the back of the pitch, straight in for a clean goal. Not what we expect out of Chiefs, but props to Conspiracy for taking the free shot.
No, because Conspiracy Esports have been adapting each and every series, and the story goes with Conspiracy that they're getting better and better each week. They're playing like a team possessed, and that 1 goal against the Chiefs is going to mean so much. If the Chiefs let their guard down, there can be so much happening. But as I say that, I talk absolute bull.
No, I think it's just both teams are kind of warming up still. It's a great touch by Torsos, but it's a little bit sloppy that Slurpee Monster got caught off guard so early in these points. I think we'll see both of them warming into it, and we won't be seeing these long, clear-like shots.
I like warming. I think warming's a good word for it. To start us off, 1 apiece means that Chiefs pull themselves back into this game. Never were they really out, but it makes all the difference, all the same. Conspiracy Esports are still this squad that I've been excited to watch through league play. Didn't have the best week 1 or week 2 in our league play career, but now Conspiracy are a changed mob. They feel like they've really adapted to some of these top tier teams.
Yeah, I think it's a case of you're the average of the 5 teams you verse is kind of a way I like to think about it. And if you're now playing against the league play teams, the guys that have owned OCE for so long, you're going to rise to the occasion. You're going to get better, and you're going to get better fast.
Yep. One of the most defensive teams in our OCE league play at that as well. And Chiefs, they like slow pace, but so far Conspiracy Esports, they're holding the pace of their own. Hectic has had a great couple of weeks, and individual performance has been exemplar for him. Jake is going to be setting up this net shot right in there for Torsos. Hits the roof, Drippe is there. Doesn't get an inch or a mile. Jake trying to recover. Hectic, big hit over to the side. Hectic, second touch. And if you leave Hectic alone, feels like the Kami situation all over again.
Yeah, it's interesting. Chiefs are being a lot more aggressive this game, trying to crack the nut that is Conspiracy's defense, rotating so far forward, they're almost getting caught with their pants down, forcing themselves that quick recovery.
But the thing is, they're not. I mean, like, they're almost, but they're not. And Chiefs only holding a 1-all. Conspiracy can really hunker down here. But Korea, they're not. I mean, they still leave 2 people in defense. They look like they're pushing up a little bit more, and a different change of play style again from Conspiracy Esports.
Yeah, they're being a lot more aggressive than we'd typically see from them, and so's Chiefs. So both teams changing it up, trying to catch the other one unaware.
Yep. 2 minutes remaining in game number 1, however, and the story of the series goes along the lines of if Conspiracy can take a win against Chiefs, they can pick up even only a game. There's so much hope for them in the next series. Going up against Avant Gaming, this could merely be called a warm-up, or better yet, this could be the start of the top 4 for Conspiracy. We're going to have to find out.
Yeah, and I think for Chiefs on the flip side, though, for them, this is about chasing perfection. They are not in first place, and that would gall the guys so much. So they're going to want to smash this out hard.
Oh, good demo, but great defense from Hectic. He's going to get the ball away to this right-hand wing. Walcott is back alive. That demolition coming through from Jake opened it up for the Chiefs, but the defensive side from Conspiracy Esports lives on. In our first league play match of week number 4. Things are tighter than ever, and Conspiracy getting hunkered down in front of their net, but shots after shots coming through from Chiefs. Drip Bay around the corner will help set this up. Chiefs getting the second touch, followed through Torsos. That's what we expect.
The keyboard man himself taking that goal to get themselves ahead. They're back where they want to be. Chiefs with that 2-1 lead.
And a minute remaining, Conspiracy Esports. We're going to see a change once again. They ball behind, they're going to push out. They're going to find this goal. They cannot play defensive, a goal down.
Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3. I'll get it past me, says nobody on the Conspiracy team.
Conspiracy know that rhyme all too well. Chiefs now have to be careful. Walcott gets the ball, slows it down. Torsos recovers. There's Slurpee, misses the second touch. They're out of defense. Hectic over the pass, and still 1 in defense is going to be okay for Conspiracy, but they have to get a big pass on this ball, a big clear. See how they go with 40 seconds remaining. Still going through. Chiefs Esports are continuing to drive this ball down the other side of the field. The defense is okay now for Chiefs. Conspiracy with 25 seconds remaining. Have to start questioning how they play this ball. Hasn't been the greatest start to game 1. Hasn't been, you know, the cleanest, I guess you could say. We talked about that warm-up stage. We really went through on how each team was trying to find game number 1. 5 seconds remaining. Conspiracy Esports don't look like they're going to tie this one up. Hectic going to keep it up. Last chance, last opportunity, but the ball is slowly getting down and will hit the ground with Chiefs taking game 1.
Yeah, hitting their stride in the second half of that game, freezing Conspiracy's offense. Just what we expected to see from Chiefs on the left-hand side of the desk. And unfortunately for Conspiracy, not a great start, but a great showing.
No, of course, but defensive style, you can see the saves popping up all on those leaderboards, and couple of good plays from Hectic, but we want to see a little bit more. And going up against the Chiefs, you know, this is going to be the series that they prove that, yes, they're ready to take on Avant, or yes, they're ready to defeat the Chiefs.
And this is what's important for them, because they want to prove that they are one of the powerhouse teams. If they can beat Chiefs, well, if you've beaten Jam in the past, they're the Jam Slayers of the region. If they can beat Chiefs, they're the Chief Slayers. They've beaten Legacy, they're the Legacy Slayers. If you can do it 3 times, the thing is real. It's a testament.
Well, I don't think it matters because, honestly, like, Jam is, you know, you can beat Jam. You can beat one of the top tier teams. It's like, you know, it's like Cloud9 getting defeated by, you know, a bunch of squabblers, like a bunch of hillbillies from the south, right? They come up,
Righto.
they defeat, they defeat Cloud9, and you're like, these guys are the Slayers, and then it gets into RLCS season, and they don't stand a chance. So not that Conspiracy don't stand a chance, it's just more the fact that, yes, they can beat big teams like Jam in the past, but when they're in the spotlight, can they do it again?
Well, they've beaten Legacy in the spotlight. Right in
That's
league
true.
play, they took them down. So for me, if they can beat Chiefs, this solidifies it. Similarly, if they can't pull this win out, they can beat Avant. That counts too, because Avant, equally so. They always make LAN. If you can beat them, you deserve to be a LAN.
Well, it's only game number 1, however, and we go into 2 now with Chiefs up 1. Conspiracy shouldn't be demoralized by this. One of the best teams in our region, taking on a freshly formed roster. Experienced players, not an experienced roster. Let's see how they go against one of the top.
Well, we do have Chiefs here, the longest standing roster, taking that first goal. Drip A, top right of the bins. This is the showcase we're expecting. Here's a man that won the Golden Boot, so he can place a ball where he chooses.
Maybe a little bit too much freedom coming through from the Chiefs. They will score the first goal, and only within 17 seconds. things not looking good for Conspiracy.
Yeah, it's a strong start from Chiefs is what we are expecting. These are the guys that went overseas. They're an international powerhouse, and to think that they're in second place would drive them mad.
Demolition will come through on the side, doesn't do too much, but maybe opens it up. There's a bit of extra boost. Walcott jumps through, and Hectic setting it through. Here we go. Conspiracy Esports have a big play to make, but instantly cleared away, and they're back on the defensive side of the field with Chiefs just hammering down.
And the pressure will not relent unless Conspiracy can get that big important clear.
Oh.
But the touch is there, and the follow-up isn't.
Oh, luckily the ball just a little bit short of that net. Demolition in front of goal. Walcott misses the ball. Could be a big moment for Chiefs again. Hectic is going to have to deal with it, and they look scrambled on the side of Conspiracy Esports, not knowing what to do. Jake taking advantage of that. Chiefs finding openings. I love openesses, but Drippe around the corner will continue to put the pressure on. Conspiracy finally get it clear, but it's just responded instantly.
Yeah, Drippe did run out of boost there that forced the Chiefs to have to pull back to get that resupply. Now that they've got that clear forward, they're going to come back and try build the aggression again.
Well, Hectic, as he follows the ball through, 3:30 remaining. Chiefs might just be happy with one, but one's never enough. It's not like Chiefs going up against Noisies and Toxic. This feels very different. Although they're putting the pressure on, Conspiracy Esports are such a constituted squad, and Jake, lucky he's in defense, will be some good shots, and that's the first opening Conspiracy Esports are trying to make. It's good to see them get the pressure back on.
And they need to, because being one goal behind against Chiefs is hard.
No.
They rarely concede anything, so you need to get a lead, and you need to get it fast.
Yeah, because Chiefs have, when they bring the ball back down, they just have so much free reign. Conspiracy Esports now have to decide how they play this ball into Chiefs' goal, because their setup is so well thought. An ex-RLCS squad looking to go back. They take down Conspiracy. I mean, they almost solidify themselves into league play. There will be 4-1 career, only dropping to Legacy, and you could just say it was a bad day for Chiefs. Won't matter at the end. Even if, Legacy might not make it to league play, so they'll be like, hey, that's fine. The squad we lost to aren't even here. Maybe Conspiracy won't make it.
Drippe with that great dribble around the Conspiracy back line has enabled them to get that 2-0 lead. Unfortunately, Conspiracy do struggle at playing those super aggressive attacks and taking those high risks, which may be needed to pull 3 goals.
I feel like there's a lot of freedom on the side of Chiefs' career. They're having so much time with the ball. Conspiracy not really going for too many challenges. Maybe it's my perception. Maybe something different. Oh, Walcott. Oh, they have really stylistic plays, and you hate to see them miss.
Yeah, so close,
Like
but
that.
yet so far. The thing is with Chiefs, they are famous for the quote, momentum is a lie, because they like to drop their first game, then come back and steal every single one from out underneath their opponent's
Momentum's
noses.
not a lie. What a silly thing to say. I love momentum. Everyone loves momentum, even Torsos.
Slurpee loves momentum. I don't think Torsos enjoyed it then. Momentum was not his friend.
So maybe momentum is a lie, because if Conspiracy come back, I mean, Chiefs have just talked. And that's it. That's all they've done. Slurpee with one means Conspiracy have 2 minutes to get another.
Yeah, they're really taking advantage of Chiefs being not exactly in place for the back of their rotation. Their third man not being able to get the finishing touch to clear out the goal.
Oh my god, what is this? Korea,
Revenge for Torsos.
in 10 words or less, what is this?
Torsos getting revenge. He's showing momentum is also his friend.
That was just the same sentence but reversed.
It's like palindromic.
Holy moly, big words coming out. It's early, Korea.
It is early.
For those of you who don't know, what time is it? It's 11:20 in Australia.
You're the one with the watch.
I know, and it took me a while to realize what's going on it. It's been a while since I've read a watch, okay? Just leave me alone. Right, 140. To look back at the game and not at the watch means that Conspiracy Esports have a bit of time here, but not really enough. Chiefs getting another goal could just cement game number 2, and Jake looking to do exactly that. Back on the defensive side, Conspiracy Esports playing to their strength, but Chiefs just doing it so much better right now. Conspiracy trying to find an opening, and Jake, could have been a big shot there from Conspiracy, missing a lot of these balls.
And you can't afford to. Not against Chiefs. The team are as consistent as we are. And because of that, if you don't take the openings when they're there probably won't be another one for a long time.
Yep, and Slurpee Monster, Hectic, and Walcott not looking too comfortable here against the Chiefs squad, and going up against Avant next, they're going to tighten up their play, because they will be versing another one of those top 6. Yes, sure, they're not inside the core of the bubble like Chiefs and like Jam, but it's still one of the top teams. And if Avant, if the switch is on, Conspiracy are really going to struggle. Great passing play. So at least Conspiracy not too demoralized, still making a big effort.
And they need to, because you're not out. You're not out until the Fat Lady sings, and the Fat Lady sings 3 goals. Torsos making that 4 goals this game.
Yeah, definitely singing now. Opera, not one of my favorites, but for Torsos, I mean, he bought 2 tickets and he's getting set there right away. 30 seconds, going to be Chiefs taking game number 2 as well. Conspiracy Esports not looking too good going against one of our top squad.
Yeah, but Chiefs will be feeling great about it. They got to sweep Noisy last week. If they can sweep Conspiracy this week, they'll be getting that crucial game point lead, because our tiebreakers here are decided on game wins.
So isn't it incredible that Chiefs in the offseason, I couldn't stop talking about like what is going on. And now Chiefs into the RLCS season, I'm like, holy crap, they're back. We've got the classic Chiefs squad again.
Yeah, they're the land boys. They don't want to miss out on the land. They want those big dollary dues, which is the Australian currency. And it's important to them.
I mean, yeah. You've all seen Simpsons.
Yeah.
That's accurate representation.
The boot they used to kick in The Simpsons is the boot we gave Drippe.
The giant boot. Oh boy. We put it on a trophy and Drippe took it with open arms. Well, Chiefs, this has been a bit of a massacre in game number 2 and almost as clinical as what we saw against Noisy, but I think that those small differences coming through, that Conspiracy Esports can actually hold up. I know Chiefs are just going to try and make that wrong, and they want the ball to bounce so they can get on with game number 3 and hopefully make it a sweep.
And they need that sweep. 3 goals. They are sitting in second place, and this is a team that will never be happy until first is firmly in their grasp, and this will give them the opportunity to leapfrog ahead of Jam.
Well, Jag actually having quite a lot of shots there into goal, and Conspiracy Esports still holding out in defense to a degree. I mean, 5 goals is not really holding out, one could say.
Well, when your opponent takes 15 shots, you're probably not in a great place.
Look, but, I mean, 15 shots, 5 go in. That's like 33%. Is that cool? No.
33% shot accuracy is not bad though.
So,
and it's 33% of a 15 shots. That's a lot.
Okay. Let me reiterate then. Conspiracy are still defending, but they're not defending well.
Yeah, I think they're defending relatively well, but their playstyle problem that they're having is like, if you're sitting in goals and you can't break out of the pressure that's being built upon you, you're in trouble. You don't score goals typically from within your half, unless your opponent has made a big mistake.
Unless you're Slurpee in game number 1.
Yeah, but game number 1, I think both teams were warming into it, and both of them overextended, still getting each other's measure. I think Chiefs was very confident, and they're like, nah, we can just take them apart. We took Noisy apart. And then they didn't take them straight apart.
Well, Conspiracy is still one of the newer squads. You got to remember at the end of the day, although I was talking them up, although we were saying they have the potential to go and run through some of these top tier teams, I mean, they are still new to league play, and whatever effort they put in, they'll get something out of it. They're 2-2, for God's sake, Korea. I mean, like after this week, they could be 3-3, they could be 2-4. We're going to have to find out, but taking 2 wins on league play is an incredible feature. It means they might not sit down in that 7th position. Means we could see Conspiracy Esports really stepping up. Great shot from Walcott to start us off.
And getting the demo as well, opening up his space for Walcott to finish it off. First the demo, then receives the pass, finishes it himself. Plays by Walcott is what they're going to be relying on. We did hear it on the desk. He is the man to watch.
And look at that one step ahead there, Korea. They were like, hey, let's switch up the pace. They need to hold this. Are they going to go into their defensive shell is always the question I ask for Conspiracy Esports. Or do they continue to pile drive into that goal?
And they can keep playing a bit safe, but as long as they take advantage of the opportunities they can build, like using the demos that have been changed in the recent patch, they can make those openings and break through Chiefs.
Trippe setting it up for Torsos. That was a sexy little wall slide if I've ever seen a snag. Well, Conspiracy Esports now back into defense. Chiefs are pushing through just as they do, but Walcott puts the pace on the ball once again. Hectic comes up. Is anyone in goal? Good. Okay.
Now Slurpee Monster's got your back as long as they can get some backboard defense coming through, and Hectic's the man for the job.
Yeah, Conspiracy Esports holding out, but Chiefs are not stopping there. Getting 1 goal is not close enough. Chiefs are so comfortable in front of this net and having the majority of possession. That's not what we want. Torsos leaves the ball. Can't get anything out of it. Chiefs hit it up. Torsos goes through, almost gets intercepted. Chiefs missing a couple of these balls. Could be good for Conspiracy.
Definitely. All 3 Chiefs players had just replenished all their boost, and due to that unfortunate play in the air, 2 of them had to burn through most of it.
Chiefs Now hitting the ball up. Torsos will not be able to follow. Walcott hits it back. Jake across field is going to send it over to Drippe. Drippe, very nice touch. Hectic responds quicker, however, and Jake gets bumped forward by his own teammate. Everyone's pushed up. Quick demolition will mean that Conspiracy cannot capitalize on this. Hectic gets Torsos, and in the new patch, the new meta, everyone likes to blow things up.
I think that makes the game way more exciting, as long as you know that things are coming in beforehand. Torsos pushing back forward and trying to get that midfield pressure so they can start the offense.
Torsos has just taken this all the way from his half. Chiefs have so much free reign here. Jake misses the shot. Come on, Jake. Seen so much more from this player, but there we go, cleaned up by Torsos.
Oh, that was sick. Nice play there by Torsos, just standing right in the right position, knowing what to do, where to be, and just popping it right over their heads.
I mean, there were two in defense their career from Conspiracy. They both missed, and Torsos was like, I'll take it. Oh, yeah, you like jazz? That's what they wanted.
They also like goals. Now one apiece. Conspiracy's in a dangerous spot. Potential sweep to Chiefs.
Potential career. I don't like to get all down and mighty on Conspiracy because I know that they are full of surprises. Chiefs maybe fumbling the ball a little bit, but then they regain control and they start pushing down, and the speed is on their side. Drippe getting the demolition, not going to mean too much as Walcott hits it back up. Is going to take it, centers it, follows it. Chiefs still finding control. One apiece. Conspiracy now really pushing out.
And they need to, because Chiefs are so good at keeping that defense strong, and you really have to lull them into a false sense of security to draw out that rear player, typically Jake.
Walcott is being a little bit fancy there, gets the demolition. Slurpee passing it upfield. Jake intercepts again. Chiefs always getting kind of the second touch on these balls. It's a nice roll. So we'll go back to Conspiracy Esports. One apiece, 145. Slurpee Monster not getting it past Torsos. Hectic not going to commit just yet. Leaves it for Torsos as it goes over the ball, and Walcott is still the response. Chiefs getting bumped left, right, and center here, but getting the better touches. Jake dunks the ball. Slurpee's there as a response and gets it out of the net.
Yeah, great dunk, great follow-up, but Torsos sitting in that midfield, not allowing the Conspiracy players to break back out. It's going to require some big plays from them if they want to steal a goal from Chiefs.
Walcott over to Slurpee. Conspiracy hanging on the edge here at 115. Don't want to get swept by the Chiefs. One game, I mean, would really brighten up the day of the Conspiracy lineup, but right now they're just trying to keep it down this side of the field. Is it the right answer? Or are they simply just grasping at straws here with a minute remaining? Chiefs Esports have to do with Hectic. Accepted the ball. Demolition. Hectic gets an easy demo at that. Torsos in defense. Slurpee redirects. No, we needed the touch.
Yeah.
So close.
A little bit more speed, a little sharper angle, and that was the goal to be had.
Torsos. Torsos! Oh, baby. God, I love this game.
Into the corner. A lot more control Conspiracy can pull from this position. Safe for them as well. With the backboard defense of Chiefs, always ready.
Walcott back in. Conspiracy Esports. Slurpee Monster again and again. Kind of painful to watch right now. It's Conspiracy Esports. I hyped you. Don't let me down. I hyped you guys. I talked you up. I said you could do it. We're probably going to go to overtime, so never say die.
Reverse sweeps are a thing. Ooh,
Oh
push up
my
there by
dear
Drippe.
Lord.
The follow-up still coming through, but Conspiracy manages to get it out before the timeout kicks.
Hectic hits the ball over. Conspiracy. Ball's going to drop. We're into overtime, and Chiefs with the potential of a sweep. We'll have to try and find something in this clock that never stops.
Yeah, they're putting a good showcasing here. Holding Chiefs at their bay is not something most teams can do.
Drippe centers the ball for Torsos. Conspiracy losing against the Chiefs. I mean, the fact that they've held on for this long is definitely a testament. Hectic send the ball over. Conspiracy just need a goal. Overtime is all about this one moment, but Chiefs have found a bit of free reign. The ball hit over the top, dribbled. The camera spazzing out a little bit there. 30 seconds remaining. Ball around the corner. Chiefs setting up again. Relentless pursuit in front of this goal. One of my favorite words. Glad we get to use it with the Chiefs. They're not stopping there. Drippe sends it in, and Conspiracy have been swept.
First shot, second shot, third shot, they just keep coming out, and Chiefs has now taken that with their third game to nil. What a sweep, what a win.
And Conspiracy Esports going to be a little bit upset about that, but taking it to overtime, I mean, that is some good testament. Conspiracy showing some of their strengths, but need to tighten this up in their next series against the Vart Gaming to keep themselves in the running or at least keep themselves for the potential of getting in that top 4 position.
Yeah, it is incredibly tight at the moment. So even though they lost, this does not mean they're out by any measure. So they just need to get this big win against Avant, and they can set themselves up for next week.
All right, Wolfie, one simple question here. Conspiracy, were they at the top of their game?
They did play well. The only thing that I have to critique about them, really, is the fact that a lot of times in defense, when it came down to it, there were 3 sitting in goal. When they cleared it out properly, it's because one was sitting on the backboard waiting for the backboard clear from Chiefs. And a lot of the times when a lot of those goals were scored, it was based off a pressure play from the Chiefs, which forced the goal and forced those 3 sitting in net.
Well, I think it's the case, right? If you had 15 shots, you're probably going to get a couple.
Yeah, that was a key example of where they absolutely put the pressure on and it worked for them. Playing a lot more like the old Scylla, basically when they were back with Sandcastle, where a lot of the time it was just a lot of free shots at net, and then, eventually one's going to go in.
But I mean, that's conspiracy style at the end of the day. Like, defensive, like a 3 sitting in net, okay, that's conspiracy. They showed a lot of aggression coming through against the Chiefs, and they took it to them in parts of that series. But I think we need to look at realistically them now going up against Avant Gaming after losing 3-0. It's not about, okay, Avant Gaming, yes, they're a very different squad. They're like the Conspiracy 2.0 or Conspiracy like the Avant 2.0. Let's do that.
I think that makes more sense.
Like Conspiracy, we're here later, but they're what?
Look, it's definitely going to be, in my opinion, a bit of a closer matchup, just because Conspiracy will be better able to deal with a lot of Avant's plays.
Okay. Yeah, they both play a lot more slower and have similar styles as well.
But it's about that light switch. I mean, that's what we'll talk about in the next series when we do get there. I think Conspiracy here, had some shining lights in that series, but Chiefs have switched on as ever. This is a really good couple of weeks now for the Chiefs. Sitting 4-1. They're going to be on top for now, but they are still looking in contention for league play.
Yeah.
I assume right now they'd be staring down the barrel saying, we've pretty much secured it. Let's go forward into the next couple of weeks and make sure we get better seeding. This is good for the Chiefs. This means that going into RLCS, I mean, the opportunity...
Look, I think they're sitting very, very comfortably there, and they're going to be looking, especially in the last week of league play, going to be looking at focusing on seeding. So making on that first place so that they have to verse number 4 in the first round, and then, having a much better chance of being able to go straight into the grand finals instead of having to do the loser bracket run.
See, I don't reckon it's just seeding they're going for. I reckon they're going for first and nothing else. Like, if you came up to, like, Jake or Torsos, like, hey, guys, congratulations on second, they'd be like,
No.
Like, they would not be happy.
Whenever you talk to Torsos, you always got to wait for, it's so bad.
Yeah.
And he'll basically critique his own gameplay like there's nothing else. And, obviously that's why they're sitting at one of the top 2 in OCE right now.
Yeah, and they put up an exemplar performance going up against Conspiracy Esports. But speaking of exemplar performances, if you too want to show yourself on the pitch, we have Throwdown tournaments, amateur and pro league for you at throwdowntv.gg. When we return, however, we are going to have Conspiracy Esports taking on Avant Gaming. This is a very crucial match for both of these teams. For one of them, it could mean the difference between getting into top 4 and not making it through to LAN play. We'll find out after this break.